everyone, Trish Charleston here, also known as the Cowboy's wife. I'm no expert on anything and I don't claim to be, but I have been alive for 56 years, so I have some funny stories. Come saddle up with me and take a ride, and maybe I can make you laugh or smile or cry or give you something to just think about that day. Let's do this. Hey, good morning, everyone. Trish Charleston here. It's Maple Leaf Week in Carthage, Missouri. And if you don't know what that is, well, in our little town, we have this celebration. It's a festival. And I don't know if every town has a festival or if it's just little towns that have festivals, but like one town not far from here have apple butter making days. And then they have, just everybody has their own little niche. But in Carthage, Missouri, we have Maple Leaf. And we also are located on Route 66, old Route 66. So it's kind of cool because we have lots of visitors that come through town and we have lots of little historic sites and it's just a cool place to live. But anyway, Maple Leaf is my favorite time of the year. And I feel like it should be like it's a national holiday and they have this giant parade. And it's the largest parade in Southwest Missouri. And the thing I like about it the most is that it literally goes by my mom's house, and mom for a long time hated that because she had so many people in her house. Because lots of people just literally descend on mom's house during Maple Leaf, and sometimes she doesn't love that so much. So it's kind of funny. I would rock the Maple Leaf Parade if I lived on Grand Avenue. I promise it'd be the biggest party of the year. And also Halloween. I love Halloween. And I used to love Halloween a lot more than I do now. Last year Halloween just got weird for me, and I think because I'm getting so I'm growing in my faith more and more, and so things about Halloween scare me. And last year for some reason it just had a weird vibe. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having fun and dressing up and getting candy and all those things as long as you keep the evil out of it. And so I went through a phase last year where if a pumpkin had a scary face, it was out. I got rid of everything in my house that was and I had spent some money. I mean, like some serious money on Halloween decorations because it was one of my favorite times of the year, and it still is, but it's just don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I'm not doing it. But so speaking of Ricky Bobby, we have dressed up since the beginning of time, and my kids, I was fully into it. And my stepdad just absolutely loved Halloween because when he knew that even if I didn't have the money, I have spent some money on Halloween costumes in the day. And my girls and we would always have a theme and we'd all dress up together. And he just cannot wait for us to come over to see what we'd be wearing. And he just loved it. It just delighted him to see how we did it with just gusto. And he did stuff like that too. He would be fully in. I remember they had this thing around town one time with all their friends where they had this competition where they were paintball fighting. And oh my gosh, they were going all over town with guns, and they had this like ransom or there was a prize, but if you got killed, you were out. And I don't know if they actually used paintballs or just airsoft guns or something, but they were out killing people all over town and they were so into it. And they had some rules, they couldn't be in their house, or couldn't be at work or something. So they had to be outside, but people would be just lurking around with guns. Can you imagine someone trying to do that now? We'd all be shot, but it was so much fun, and people can't have fun anymore. And it just drives me crazy. And of course, everything you do is posted on social media, and I'm probably going to post it if if it's my family, there's, nothing's sacred. But anyway, I just got creepy about Halloween, but we still dress up, and I didn't even have my party last year, but every year we have this costume party. And the cowboy wouldn't dress up for years because he just thought it was retarded. He just thought that was so stupid. And so he just wasn't doing it. Well, for some reason about, I don't know, 15 years ago, he just gave up. I don't know if he gave up or he gave in, but he gave up and gave in. And he just like, he dressed up and he had a blast. And that's the thing is like, who cares? You don't, it's not about being pretty on Halloween. I mean, this weekend we were minions. You think that's attractive? You should see my big, beautiful husband dressed as a minion. Is it funniest thing? And I tell you what, when I walked outside, and the first time, I'm not making this up, first time in 31 years, I walked outside with those goggles on and wearing this horrible skirt that was not flattering. He laughed out loud. He goes, "That's funny." So if nothing else comes of this Halloween, I made my husband laugh out loud. And that is hard to do, I will tell you. But it was funny. And my girls commit hard. And Quincy and Colt, they do it as a family now with their babies. And they have these great creative ideas. And thanks to Pinterest, they have even wilder things that they make them do. But they they came as Jack and Jill this year. Jack and Jill fell down the hill, and they're all cut up and bloody and dirty, and it was fantastic. Of course, they won. They've won best costume, best couple costume. I don't even know how many years in a row because Quincy just fully invests, and Colt does too. And he's so precious. I mean, he'll wear anything she tells him. And that's Kevin now. He's just like, I said, "What do you want to be?" He's, "Whatever. You get one day that you get to dress me up in whatever you want." And I can't believe I chose that horrible. I mean, it was funny. But so then Emma, oh my gosh, if she's so professional at her job when she's barrel racing, she's so professional. And that's another thing that's been instilled upon her. I mean, Kevin just would practically beat her if she walked out looking like a slob, in the arena. And so she has to be very dressed and pressed and very professional. And this year, she and her buddy Kelly dressed as Ricky Bobby and Cal from Talladega Nights. And not only did they dress, but Emma learned almost every phrase or from the movie. She had all of these quotes from the movie. She walks in and she says, "I get up in the morning and I piss excellence." And you guys, I blew whatever I was drinking right out of my nose. I mean, it was the funniest thing. She was just hilarious. And so later she decides that she's going to do this skit of the scene where he's on fire. And we have people at our house. It wasn't a huge crowd, but I mean, it was some people and some that have never seen Emma in this, where she's dressed like a man. And she is an ugly little dude. Let me tell you that. She's one of the most beautiful women that you'll ever see. But when she dresses like a guy, it's hideous. And she looked like this greasy little man, and she's small. So she's a perfect race car driver. It was so funny. So she and Quincy go looking for undergarments to wear for this scene where she's on fire and she has to take off all of her clothes. And they go into Kevin's underwear drawer. Well, forever, I don't know why, I don't call them underwear. I call them panties. And I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, they're your panties. And so I swear I've even got poor Kevin calling them panties at this point, because it's been 31 years. It's a lot of talk about panties. And so the girls are going through Kevin's panties and they're like, "I don't even know." And then they got tickled because they were different colors. Emma's like, "When did Dad start wearing fancy panties? I just need some tidy whities right now. Where are the tidy whities?" And so anyway, she finally finds some. And this child comes out, you guys, and she comes running across the yard. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. And she's doing the whole thing. "Help me, baby Jesus, help me." And instead of Tom Cruise, she says Tom Brady. You guys, I'm laughing so hard. Then she starts rolling around in the ground and takes off her clothes, her costume, and she is wearing her dad's panties and a sports bra. So, I mean, she was dressed more than most people out at a nightclub or walking down the street these days or in Walmart. But anyway, so it was funny. I mean, but of course, she and Kelly won best costumes. And then her friends were dressed as Smokey and the Bandit, the bride and Smokey, or the Bandit and the Sally Field when she was dressed in her wedding dress. Funny stuff. Love funny people. But Maple Leaf has all these. So I'm going back to Maple Leaf now, but that's Halloween. And it just falls all around the same time because, it's fall and it's fun. And so Maple Leaf, they had this weenie dog competition yesterday. And I signed Frank up. Frank is fast. And she's also beautiful. And so they had this dog show. And I was like, well, I mean, she can be in the dog show too. Surely they just look at her and she's going to win a prize. Oh no, there were categories that I didn't read because I didn't have on my glasses and I can't see when I don't have on my glasses. And luckily I just happened to wear a shirt that had a weenie dog on it that day because, we commit. I just told you that we commit hard, but we get to this weenie dog race. Okay. It's actually a dachshund race. So I just keep calling like panties. I just call them weenie dogs. And so there are people everywhere. And I didn't know our town had so many weenie dogs. I mean, seriously, there was a lot. And so the first people we run into are some friends of Emma's from high school, even grade school. And they were like, hey, you guys are professional racers. And I'm like, not weenie dogs. I mean, he was almost insulted that we were there because we have, barrel horses. It's like, this is not the same, except it is the same with my family and their competitiveness. It's ridiculous how competitive they are. So Emma, all of a sudden she's like freaking out because we haven't practiced. I'm like, it's a weenie dog. Who cares? It's funny. We were going to take Bean and put her down at the end because Frank will run to Bean. Frank and Beans again were funny, but she would run to Beans if she saw her, easy. But Bean got hurt this week, and I appreciate everybody that's read my post. And people been praying for Beans because she's currently paralyzed from her little waist down, and she can't move her back legs. It's just sad, but she's wagging her tail now, and she's going potty, and she's this morning, she kind of tried to stand up on her legs. And I told Emma 3 days, give her 3 days because an amazing thing happened in 3 days. Last time she went blind, 3 days later, she could see, 3 days. Think about Jesus. Cool things happen in 3 days. And today, day 3, she kind of stood up. So I was right. Anyway, so we didn't bring Bean because she's currently paralyzed. And we also stupidly didn't bring Moose because he stinks. And so I didn't want him in my car. But then Emma got real upset and nervous because she thought, we have to win this competition. And so I'm trying to video. So Emma puts her in this box. They have this like racing box. It's the funniest thing, you guys. If you've never seen one, it's funny. But they need to like pull a squirrel or something, across make them run because they all just kind of stand there like sniffing each other's butts and, oh, happy to see you. Nice to meet you. That's how dogs introduce themselves, Thank God we don't do that. But anyway, she does finally see me, but Emma's screaming at me, put down your phone and focus. You got to focus. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay. I was trying to get some good footage for my, my blog site. I thought it would be funny, but no, it was serious competition. And she was correct. When I put down my phone and I focused, let this be a lesson to all of us. If we put down our phones and we focus, we win. And here came Frank. Oh, there's my mom. She heard my voice finally, and we won her first heat. Well, the second race, Emma's like, seriously, we need to whistle. Because I didn't know the winners had to have, all the winners of the heat had to race again for the finals. And gosh, something about being in the finals, doesn't it just make your brain explode? For some reason it does for us. And so we're in the final 5 weenies. And of course they have 3 places. And, if you're not first or last anyway, so it didn't really matter if she won third because we just throw that in the trash. No, I'm totally kidding. That's not the way we think anymore. But anyway, Emma opens the box. They open the box and Frank just stood there. She maybe got like 3 feet out of the box, but she saw those people and she's just wagging her tail and she's so happy. No focus whatsoever. I do not have a phone at this point. I have someone else filming for me. Smart. And oh yeah, she never left the first 2 feet of the box. And Emma finally screams at me, "Go get your dog. Come and get your dog." So it was pretty funny. But another thing that happened to me this week, completely unrelated to any of these things. And actually, I should probably just do a whole episode about this because it was super funny. But I had made this, it's not funny, but it's again thinking about things that we really need to focus on. Sometimes when we see a picture or we read something on social media and we don't understand it. So I wrote this. I wrote about my horses our baby colts being weaned last week. It happens every year. So if you follow my blog, every year I'm sad that we're weaning colts. You know, people that don't live on a farm or a ranch, I'm not saying they're stupid, but some of the things they say, wow is all I can say about it. Anyway, so and this was a dumb video. I apologize for even posting this video. But this mare, we loaded this mare. Literally, she's been on the trailer for 1 minute. So everyone calm down. 1 minute. And she is just tearing that thing down. I mean, she's banging and carrying on. And you don't hear it very well. So that's another reason I shouldn't have posted the video. Because it literally looks like a video of just the back of a stock trailer. It's not very exciting. And boy, did the people let me hear it. For some reason, this stupid video, and I just said something like, this is exactly how I would feel if my babies were hauled away. It was not a good post, but it was not a bad post. You cannot believe the comments that I got for this thing. One guy private messaged me and said, I wasted 10 minutes of my life. Okay, first of all, this was about 10 seconds. So you need to learn your math. And the second one, and this was so stupid, I'm unfollowing you. And I'm like, okay. And so he did. He just completely quit following me. I don't know this person. I couldn't care less if Stan from Texas isn't following me anymore. But it was hilarious because so many people, you guys, this thing in 3 days has over 12,000 people who have liked it or commented, or I don't even know how many comments, but I have gotten, someday I'm just going to sit and read comments that people send me on dumb videos that I post. I explained it. I finally had to just rewrite it and explain what was happening. And even so, oh, don't take them. How are you taking them away for their mommies? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it's like, oh my gosh, we're weaning the colts, hence the name, weaning the colts. They have to go away from their moms at some point. We don't live in Wild Kingdom where you just let your horses, suck on their moms until they're have another colt. That's not how it happens in real life. But anyway, my whole point to this story was, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. And if you don't like something when you're scrolling through it, you know what? Keep scrolling. You don't have to post something that you know nothing about. You don't have to make a comment. I think it'd be great if you don't comment at all. But I'm open to questions, logical questions, or even if you don't know and you just simply want to know, knowledge is power. I'm all about explaining something to somebody, but you don't have to be so mean. And so from now on, when you're looking at things on social media, maybe know what's going on in the whole picture that's not inside the picture before you make a complete fool of yourself, like I just did making this video. But anyway, that's what I've got for you today. Have a great week. If you get to come to Carthage, Missouri, because it is the most beautiful place in the world, and come to the Maple Leaf Parade. And if you come by my mom's house, don't expect her to give you a Bloody Mary because she probably won't. No, I'm just kidding. She will. Have a great one.